Hello everyone, welcome back to the Shintaro Higashi Show with Peter Yu. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you to our sponsors, Jason Levon, Fuji Sports, and Judo TV. Thank you.
Thank
Can't
you.
do it without you guys. And we get hundreds of solicitations all the time by email. Hey, can you push this video game? Hey, can you push this crypto? We never say yes because I don't want to just put my name on everything and just take the money and just, right? I want to help. Yeah, we want to help grapplers, right? So if you have a grappling related thing you want to advertise on our podcast, please reach out.
Yeah, and we have integrity, grapplers integrity.
That's right, because we have Eastern Asian martial arts wisdom.
That's right. Yeah. Just please contact us, support us on Patreon if you can. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today, Shintaro?
Yes, we're going to talk about, it's going to be like a personal plug, but the private lesson series that I have on my Shopify site. It's a new video series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it so? Initially, when you told me about this, I thought it was those short clips you've been putting on your YouTube channel. Like it's like snippet of your private lessons. Is it?
Kind of, sort of. So there's like a way that I teach, right? Like in sort of a lecture style format in the dojo. It's 3 to 5 minute increments. Everyone goes and tries it. Bring it in. Here's the thing. Go out there, try it. Bring it in. Here are the things that we could build on it. And that's kind of the way I do all my instructions in the dojo.
Right.
YouTube instructional is different. I'm kind of just talking at the camera, right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is what we're doing. If he goes like this, if he goes like that, I go like this and I go like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the generalized format for every instructional out there. Mm-hmm. And I do have a concise instructional series also. Mm-hmm. But this one's a little bit more interactive. It's more so like a private lesson-like environment.
Oh, so I see. So it's you say it's interactive? How does that work?
Not for the person actually watching it, but I am not just talking at the camera. I'm talking with Greg Reagan, who's my uke, and he's asking questions. So we have 3 of these out.
Yes. I see.
So we have the Sode system, Ippon Seinagi, and we have Sasai. So we have those 3 things, right? And Greg Reagan's actively asking questions that an intermediate or a beginner, even an advanced person might ask.
I see.
Yes.
So it's almost as if you're like splitting a private with Greg.
Essentially, yes, essentially. And I got 2 video products that I sell on my site, on my Shopify site, right? I don't want to make this all too commercially, but the most concise instructional where I'm not going into the actual throw.
Okay.
It's not like check the wristwatch, the hand goes there, because that's been done a million times, right? I'm not trying to do that. I'm talking like contextual judo, like the most important information back to back, right? With no fluff, no redundancies. Getting straight to the point, finishing the technique, setting up the technique, and then the technique itself, how it integrates with all these other systems, right? Hand position, timing. That's the most concise instructional that I've. That's a whole series.
Yeah.
So this is a separate thing.
Yeah. Because that was like your Seoi Nage. You had a drop Seoi Nage series, but right? Yeah, okay.
Yes. And not to be that guy, but I've been selling these super concise videos for $20 a pop. We might raise the prices.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just if you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's anything out of ordinary.
Yeah. Uchimata's doing really well.
Yeah. Everyone's
hundreds
favorite.
Have been sold. Yeah. Hundreds, not thousands, hundreds.
So
not that many. Actually.
So let's see. So maybe we could go. Maybe I could ask you like this. So say I'm a person who bought that Uchimata instructions.
Yeah.
I'm still not getting the Uchimata, but I wanna, for example, buy this interactive private series.
Yes. If I had a Uchimata, If I had a Uchimata video in that series, then yes, that would make sense. Yeah.
So it's
it's more interactive. It's a different format. That's what
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So I don't know. Like, how can I like ask you more? How about maybe? So I'm having trouble understanding this interactive format. And then would it be like you have a set topic like Uchimata, and then Greg you try to teach Greg, and then Greg asks questions?
So
okay.
We have 3 in this private lesson series, like I said: Sode, Ippon Seinagi, and Sasai.
Okay.
So let's say you buy Sasai.
Yeah.
I'm teaching Greg Sasai, essentially.
I see.
Right? But I'm also teaching to the audience because I've already taught so much of my Sasai on YouTube for free. 99% of my stuff out there is free. right?
Yeah.
So people who are like gonna buy this, knows what Sasai is, they're not an absolute beginner. They already have sort of an idea of what Sasai is, right? They might have Googled it, they might have YouTubed it. Now they get to see it in depth and the questions that a normal person might ask.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Normal pitfalls, like things that make it not work.
Right, right.
Surprise timing that is not so common, right, to the average person in a regular dojo.
Yeah.
But if you're on the international competitive scene, you see. Right? For instance, the side to that front leg off on an Ochi. I've done this video segment on YouTube, but how that works with all the other different types of Sasais.
Yeah, I
Because
see.
you can go Sasai both ways, right?
Right, right,
So
right.
now I'm throwing all this information out there, but I'm telling Greg, and Greg obviously has questions.
Yeah, I see. I see.
What happens if this? What happens if that? How does this work with that? Right? These kinds of questions. And that's what makes this series kind of special and unique. Because I've been doing lots of private lessons recently.
Right.
Like not repeat private lessons because I haven't been allowing myself or opening up my schedule so much. But a lot of the times I get now visitors in New York. Hey, I'm in New York. Can I come visit you? How much is it private? Can you accommodate me, within these hours? And then
Yeah, I see.
yes, no, maybe, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a lot of the times I do them, like a Wednesday or something, and they have these similar questions. Hey, we had one 2 weeks ago. It was like drop Seanagi video. He bought Ippon Seanagi standing versus drop. Like, what is the difference? What is the timing? Like, when do you go high? When do you go low? Is it just a stance and defensive thing?
I see.
How do you set these things up? How do you integrate it with certain other attacks? How can I incorporate it into my system? These like a little bit more intermediate advanced questions that you might sort of leave a comment in the YouTube's comment section, but I don't really read
Yeah.
the YouTube comment section. So
I see.
this is the perfect spot for that.
I see.
guy.
Okay, so I have a better
Yeah.
idea now. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a lot of it's you're trying to basically scale up your private lessons in a sense, like you're collecting all these common questions that come up during your privates, and then you try to address them in a more interactive manner for more people.
Yes, kind of. And I do have another idea. I'm like, all right, I do like random privates every now and then. I try not to book myself with like, 10, 15 privates a week because I feel like it's just, I don't love doing it, right? A lot of the times. I do love it, but, it becomes too much sometimes with all the stuff that I have on my plate. But I will every now and then take on a new private lesson, et cetera, et cetera. And, I have this idea of maybe, hey, if you want, I'll give you a discounted rate because a lot of people are priced out. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
With certain private, especially with me, charging New York City prices.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give you a X amount of discount if we could film it and I could use it online, right? And then perhaps I could get sort of, and that may be an option that I'm kind of considering in the future. And that's where I got the idea of like, okay, let's see, Reagan, come, let me show you some Sode stuff that you've been doing. And he's been working Sode actively, and there's a couple of things that would have helped him right off the bat, right?
I see.
So that's kind of the idea.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's actually a cool idea. Like if you can give people some discount,
Yeah.
if they let you film the whole session and then.
It'd be cool. Like I know last week you said you were working on your Uchimata a lot, right?
Yeah.
So like if you sent me videos of you doing training, obviously some dojos just doesn't allow it, and it's really annoying. You got to set up the camera. People don't want to be on camera. It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
Let's just say you're in New York,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, hey man, I want to do a lesson, Uchimata, and we could go through the whole thing. Right. And then probably if me and you were doing a private lesson, I wouldn't say, all right, this is how you do Uchimata, because maybe you know it, maybe you don't. So show me your Uchimata, how you set it up, where you're getting in trouble, okay? And then we'll go from there. And a lot of people can't even articulate that. Oh, I go turn and I go Uchimata from there. And then it's like, all right, let's grip fight a little bit and see like if you know the grip fighting basics. Let's see if you know the positional basics, right? And then I'll give them a little bit of an advantage. I'll let them enter Uchimata to see how the Uchimata entry is and the finishing is. We'll see like when he hooks Ochi or something, whether he turns it in and converts it into Uchimata. All these different things I'll like keep track of, right? And then at the very end of it, be like, all right, these are the things you need to work on, best ROI.
I see.
And it's not, hey, let's do Nagekomi 50 times and I'll give you a little bit of a feedback every single time, because that's useless. That's useless. Because you know what? Everyone does that in the dojo already.
Yeah.
So for you to get repetitions of doing actual Uchimata in a crash mat format, that's all on you. That's a waste of time to do that with me.
Oh yeah,
Huge waste of time.
Private lessons are not for that. It's not your practice time.
Not for that. I also don't want to take those falls.
Oh yeah, it's a private, right?
There's a double reason why that's not gonna happen, right?
Right.
So like if you come to New York, that would be a good addition to the private lesson series.
I'll let you film me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still gonna give me a mate's rate on top of that?
Oh, 100%. I'll do it for free, bro.
Oh.
Yeah. But at the very end of it, I might just wrap you and then suplex you.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Just for the fun of it. And then that'll
People will love that.
No, I wouldn't suplex you.
Yeah.
But
you know what? So this reminds me of so I don't know if I mentioned in the podcast a lot, but I'm a big skier and I recently picked up golf. This is quite common in those sports.
Yes,
like
100%.
Those instructors will put up their own like coaching sessions online, and then like they use it as a marketing, right, for their own private lessons and then their own like material. So in the sense that I think this kind of goes well with what we talked about last time a few weeks ago about how to grow your dojo, how to grow judo, and how we're in competition with other sports. You know, there's a lot of things we can learn from other sports, and then this is one of those things. You know, we gotta judo is an individual sport, and then a trained eye can identify issues a lot quicker, and then you can improve a lot faster. And this private series will be like a little preview.
Yes. And that's the thing with the trained eye too, right? If you're taking a private lesson from someone, if that person who's giving that lesson isn't asking a lot of questions, it's not a good. It's not very good, you know. Because then, first of all, like if I'm first time meeting someone that's walking into my gym for a private lesson, I have no clue what that guy knows.
Yeah.
No clue. So for me to be like, all right, this is a technique, like do this and that, and do this and that. Maybe he doesn't use any of that stuff.
Right.
And then a lot of the times, these feedback things that you get are sort of cookie cutter feedback. Oh, bend your knees, turn your thing. Oh, you're not pulling hard enough. Oh, your kuzushi's not there enough. Those are the things you 100% do without. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, sorry to completely like derail what you were saying about skiing and just kind of give my own anecdote.
No, it's fine.
But yes, a trained eye is very important. Trained eye is very important, right? Because you don't want a guy that's just gonna regurgitate the stuff. I'll tell you this: I got Yumi a violin lesson.
Yeah.
A private lesson with this woman.
And
how'd it go? Terrible.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Okay.
This woman, first of all, didn't even give her a tuned violin.
Oh, she didn't even tune her violin?
It wasn't even tuned. And I'm not like some musical prodigy. I'm far from it. But I was like, lady, this violin does not sound tuned.
You play the guitar, so...
Not really. I can't even say it, dude, right? And there was a piano in the room. She's like, yeah, I'm a little bit more of a pianist. And then she's like, playing a little piano. It's kind of nice, right? I'm like, okay. And then I was like, can you tune the violin?
How did you even get this lady?
I don't know. So this is the thing. She has a cookie cutter thing. She's reading off a freaking workbook. Obviously, she's teaching a 5-year-old, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But she's like making her do these like little worksheets throughout the thing, and that's a cookie cutter thing.
Yeah.
And I'm in there with her, and I'm like one of the crazy parents.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, you need to, right? I'm that guy. Let's tune this violin, and then can you play something for her so she can get excited about the violin? The woman couldn't fucking play.
Oh, no.
She was like playing like, what was it?
Twinkle,
Little Star, but like barely.
Oh my God.
I was like, this is garbage. I was like, this is not, and then they were like calling me, hounding me, like the marketing thing. They did a really good job following up. But bro, I was not signing her up for that program.
Right.
Like, that's not a private lesson.
Yeah.
That's a machine. That's a money-making machine. Because most people just be like, it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. I'll just drop my kids off on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And they had a whole system with like marketing and follow-up and email and calling. And even the owner called me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I had gone to that music school when I was a child, hated it, never went back, right? And then I had told the guy, like, hey, I came here when I was a kid once.
Oh.
He's like, oh my God. So the owner actually called me, like, hey, remember, oh man, it's so nice to see you after 30 years, I know you're not a musician, but, it's so great that you still have the love for it that maybe we planted in your thing. When are you going to bring your kid back?
Guys.
And I was like, I didn't really like the lady and the teacher. She was like, oh, we'll get you another one.
Uh,
I was like, you know what, man? Maybe in a couple months.
so
Yeah.
I guess this private lesson series, I guess people will be kind of worried, kind of going off what you just described. Maybe I'm paying this much money, but it's not as personalized. But I can't really. I don't live in New York, or getting a private lesson with Shintaro would be too expensive. Like, well, what do you say to those people? Like, well,
I mean, kind of, sort of, not really, right?
yeah,
It is still like a video product. So
Yeah,
Greg
yeah.
Reagan's asking questions that he thinks will be interesting
yeah,
to the audience and what he thinks is interesting.
yeah,
So it could totally be off like the mark.
yeah.
And it could be totally boring for you. Maybe you have no idea what he's saying, or it's just not like a private lesson at all. Right? But that was the intent going into it. That was the intent. And it's not a full hour. It's much shorter, right?
Right.
Because we got rid of all like the
The-
parts where he's trying it and doing it or whatever it is. And,
more
like I said,
efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's new information from beginning to end, kind of. That's kind of the idea. It's like a private lesson distilled down to like 10 to 20 minutes.
Okay, I see.
Because I'm such a believer, right, that 90% of the people who buys long instructionals online don't watch the whole thing.
Right.
I've done it probably like 37 times. I'm going to buy this instructional. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
Probably watch 10 minutes of it.
and you could probably skip around and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why the concise instructional series came about. It's so short, you could download it to your phone, whatever, and you could just have it.
Yeah,
and
I
you can kind
see.
of watch it a few times. And then because you blow through all the information, there's no redundancies. It's like you could rewatch it and pick up something new every time.
I see.
That's the idea. You ever heard of Blinkist?
No.
They
What
like
is that?
give you a synopsis of the book in the shortest, most concise way.
Like the like Spark Notes.
It's kind of like that. Like, Stephen Covey's like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those. I heard of that book. Yeah.
7 Habits. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a book, regular book.
Yeah.
If you go to Blinkist, it's like 1.
One.
Win-win
yeah.
scenario. I win, you win, everyone's happy. Here's a couple of examples. There you go. That's the whole chapter.
Right.
Like
I mean, that's
that.
what it is, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more detailed, but it's just enough for me to like listen on my drive in to where it's like 2 or 3 commutes. I get through the whole book.
So you could watch these private lesson series, like one of those videos on the private lesson series.
Yeah,
on
that's
your
what I
way
was going
to,
for.
Yeah, I see.
And then if you guys purchase it, you can reach out to us through Instagram, Patreon, and kind of give us feedback, because a lot of the stuff I'm trying now, it's a little bit different and unique. I hate saying unique because everyone says they're unique, right? But I'm trying to be original in the type of content that we create now.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good way to, like, if you think Greg didn't ask some questions that you wanted to ask.
Yeah.
You could send Shintaro some feedback.
Yeah.
And then he'll incorporate it in the next video.
Yeah, that's the idea, at least. So
Nice.
experimenting with different formats, different types of content. If you're in New York, reach out to me. You may catch me, where I have an opening in my availability. I'm telling you, I've been getting a lot of inquiries out of nowhere.
Nice.
Out of nowhere. Just like all these people are traveling to New York now. They're like, oh, I want to do a private lesson with you.
Nice. And then you're like trying to innovate. I mean, I think, guys, like maybe someone will complain that this was like a total ad. The whole episode was an ad, but
it's an ad, yes.
Yeah, it is an ad. We're not going to deny it.
I mean, it is, but there's some information that's valuable, right? How to do a private lesson, what to look for in a private lesson, right? These little things, and I'm sorry if it came off a little bit too self-promotion-y.
No, I mean, it's our podcast. I think it's more that, like, I think we need to keep talking about these, like, new things people are trying in judo, because I think there's a tendency. I don't know, probably because it's like some judo practitioners have this idea that judo is like always, like the traditional judo is always the best. Like the original Kano, Kodokan judo is the best. 1,000 uchikomis a day, whatever.
I mean,
But
1,000 uchikomis a day, that traditional stuff is great. If you have 6 hours a day
yeah,
to do judo every
and-
day, there's no better way to develop judo than to just
Yeah.
be on the mat 6 days a week, doing your fundamentals, going through the thing. But none of us have the time as hobbyists, and majority of the people on the mat
Our
aren't
hobbies.
full-time
Yeah.
grapplers. They're just not. They're hobbyists and they love it, and those are the people that I want to advocate to for the most.
It's not even
Because-
just a hobby. It's like if if I think kind of, or in Japan, you can join a judo club, right? Like at
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like think about high school, middle school sports in America. You get to practice every day after school for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Which adult can afford to do that?
Nobody. And you know what, man? Those
Exactly.
people are the heart of martial arts. It really is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The athletes who are at the top, who are out there competing, they're for themselves and they're almost a product of the organization.
yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And God bless them. And, they're for our entertainment too.
Yeah,
Because watch football, baseball, the product is the players doing the game, doing what they do best, right?
yeah,
And they sell ad time because the attention that people give them is valuable.
yeah.
But the heart and soul of like grappling and martial arts are the people who are doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Those
Who
are the
can-
people that really matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the people that can be affected in the most positive way. The freak athlete that comes in and who's already good at judo, jiu-jitsu, who's a great wrestler, who's been good at any sport, that guy's going to be fine no matter what.
Yeah, they're gonna keep doing it anyway, and then I think
Yeah.
we're trying to like inject more innovative spirit to the
Yeah.
sport. I think it's.
Yeah.
I mean, even this podcast is a new thing, I guess. It's all to say I'm kind of saying this because I based on the episode with Jimmy and our previous episode about how to grow judo in the U.S., how to
Yeah.
grow the gym itself. We've gotten a lot of like criticism for being a little like too commercial like, or like maybe like not doing away with like the traditional hard training.
Yeah.
It's, and again, not everyone, it's a survivorship, but not everyone needs
Yeah.
that. And then
And,
this type of
train
private
hard,
lessons,
you know,
yeah,
You train hard.
yeah,
We all train hard, you know what I mean? But you can't push that on everybody.
yeah. Like I think
Yeah.
I am different. Like if like I don't really take my wife to judo, for example. Like not even to the competition, because I know
Yeah.
she would hate it. Like I think she would not like that people are like sweaty and then
Yeah.
throwing each other. It's not
And then
for
she
everyone.
wouldn't let you do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not for everyone. And then, people who come in who just want to get a good workout, we need to support that. And then they're the foundation of the whole activity.
Yeah,
And
they're
then
the bulk of the people.
let's not gatekeep. And these private lesson series is one of those things, that the innovations that we're trying to do,
Yeah.
and so that it's more accessible. Like if you look at like again golf and skiing, there's tons of this, and then skiing, golf, everyone's like, not everyone's like an Olympic racer or a PGA pro. That's not what the
So how do you
sports
select
is.
your private lessons instructors when you're doing golf, ski, all that stuff?
So that's an interesting question. So I usually go so for my golf lessons, I go to the local range.
Yeah.
And they usually have a school with PGA pros.
Yeah.
So PGA pros are like people like you, like
Yeah.
they're most expensive. So
Yeah.
I'm not good enough that to really get a lot out of them. So I'll usually go one tier down. They may not be PGA certified yet, teaching
No.
pros yet, but they're like, they play college. They worked at some other ranges teaching, and then that's I pick one of those guys, and my wife and I take the lesson together. And for skiing lessons, like I'll go to a decent sized resort.
Yeah.
I'll take, usually they'll ask like, oh, which level are you? And I'll select it, and then it'll be like 2 hours together,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I usually do it, because I'm not like, I don't need a PGA pro yet,
Yeah.
or like Olympic racer yet.
Do these guys tell you to take a swing first and then they watch you do a swing first?
Oh
right?
yeah. They'll observe first. They'll ask what. So golf teachers usually say, "What are your misses? Like what happens when you hit the ball? What's the biggest problem?" And they'll watch you hit, and they'll videotape. They'll like watch the slow-mo together, and then they'll show you how pros do it. And
That's
then
really nice
work
that you
on
watch the
drills.
slow-mos together.
Yeah, it's very big now. And even skiing too, they're like doing that, and basically they'll ask like, "Oh, what are you working on? What's your problem?" I can say, "Oh, I want to get better at carving. I feel like I'm not like going as fast or something." And they'll like watch your ski, and then they'll suggest some drills.
Yeah, the slow motions. And I've taken a bunch of private lessons myself. And not so much now because I'm very good at vetting out the people. And then some people, I'm like, just talk jujitsu to me. I just want to hear you talk about whatever you're good at, so I could see, like, I could just kind of like actively try to pick what I love and and then see what's the most valuable to me, as opposed to like, this guy might not be watching me train.
Yeah.
It's a good chance he's not. He's not gonna know what's best for me yet.
Yeah.
So that's an approach, but there's been bad instructors who would kind of gaslight me, say, "Oh, you're retreating every time you do this thing, or you're not pulling the hand enough," and it's like, I think I am. And like, no, you're not. Do it 100 times. You see, it's getting better now. It's like, is it? I've been doing the same shit the whole time. So like that video incorporation is like, I really like that idea.
Right. Maybe you should incorporate that to like maybe slow-mo, more mechanics driven thing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if judo is like judo throws. You have to be that down to the technical level, but
I mean, there's so many segments to work on, before first contact, two hands on, adjusting for position. Are your feints, really feints? The actual attacks? Are you chaining it together? Are you coming back out after each attack? Are you reading your opponent, adjusting for the guy's defense? And then when you enter a throw, how are you finishing it?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother bag of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think judo has more variability. Like, I think golf and skiing are more, especially golf, are more like repetition, like reliability. But I think judo is more dynamic than that.
Say golf is unskilled and we'll clip it and put it on Instagram.
I say it's more about reliability.
Judo is much more skilled than golf.
Hey, I didn't say that. I said it's more dynamic, which is true. You can't deny that judo is more dynamic than golf.
Yeah, and then your reasoning number one, it's like, you know what? If you don't like it, come try to take me down. I challenge all the guys on the PGA Tour to come take me down.
Yeah, if I challenge everyone in the PGA Tour on the PGA Tour, Rory McIlroy, come try to take me down.
That's right.
I'll choke you out, man.
Can you imagine Reagan just took that and then posted
I know, and then actually add Rory McIlroy. He'd be like, "Who the fuck is this?"
I bet it's coming off frame like this. Man, that's so funny. But the private lesson series, it's something new that we're trying. It's at $40 right now, pop. Nothing crazy. It's like the same cost as a drop-in fee at a dojo. Yeah. It costs less than a drop-in fee at a Soul Cycle.
Yeah.
Or Pilates
man, how much is that?
Or Orange. I have no clue. I just made that up. But it's probably cheaper.
They are not cheap. They're not cheap. Yeah. But
I mean, you go to Starbucks and get a beverage. It's like $8. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, yesterday I went to the grocery store. Organic strawberries. A punnet. $11, dude. $11.
Organic though. How much was the regular?
$6.99.
Okay. Oh man, almost double. Yeah.
New York pricing, dude. I was like,
man.
$12 for a punnet of strawberries. It was unbelievable, dude. So 2 punnets, whipped cream, dude, and I was like, what? Almost the price of a private lesson series.
Yeah. Guys, help Shintaro buy some strawberries by paying for this private lesson.
I need vitamin C. I need vitamin C. But thank you guys for listening. As I said, mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, if you want to sponsor us, you can. Maybe you have a product that's grappling related. Even if it's not grappling related, it's a business of yours and you are a grappler, we want to help. Right? So I'm sure we can work something out.
We want to hear from all the grapplers from all walks of life, and we can help you. We have a kind of a platform now, right?
A little bit. It's growing.
Thanks to you guys. So reach out to us. Check out the new private lesson series, and if you guys have new ideas that you would like us to try out, we're always all about like looking forward, growth mindset. We wanna push judo forward. So we're happy to hear your ideas out.
Yes. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you,
Peter. All right. Thank you very much, and then we'll see you guys in the next episode.